Asian Americans have been considered the model minority. You know, we have attained this self-sufficiency. We don't need help. We're not very active in politics. So there's this glass ceiling. And the only way to go beyond that glass ceiling is to break it. And that's what this special hammer is for, is to break that glass ceiling. So by coming here today, you're helping me buy this glass ceiling, or this hammer to break this glass ceiling. So I appreciate that also. And I think what's so important to Asian American is education, because that's one of the reasons why we all came here to America. Whether you're an immigrant, a refugee like myself, or a student that came to study here, or had parents that came here, I think education has played a very large role in the history of Asian America. And I think one of my top priorities, if elected to state assembly, is education, make sure it's funded properly. You know, in the state of Wisconsin, we have a really good educational system, both at the K-12 level as well as the university level. And the only way to continue that is to make sure it's funded properly. And one way of doing that is to eliminate the revenue cap that the state has put on several years ago, which kind of pits the homeowners against the school districts in trying to make sure the schools are funded properly. And I think those in the UW system also knows that the state budget ties with how the UW operates too, very closely hand in hand. And when money isn't there, the university is one of the first ones that the Republicans tend to axe right away, because you know you've got this huge university that takes away, takes a lot of the budget from the state, and oftentimes the Republicans are the ones who are looking at that to cut off first. So I think one of the things we could do is elect more Democrats to the Assembly, and there's only 3 more seats left that we need to take back the Assembly for the Democrats. But in addition to that, elect someone who is very pro-education, like myself, who would want to make sure we have a champion fighting for our schools, making sure our schools are funded. So that's one of the top priorities, and I think that is spoken by myself, my community, and how well how often the Hmong community values the educational system here, as well as the Asian American community. And my father was a school teacher back in Laos, and has a special meaning to a lot of us because he went to learn to read and write when you have a literacy rate of 77% in a, so for someone to do that, obviously education plays a big role in his life. For education is one of those top priorities. Secondly, I own a small business, so and you can imagine how the economy's the downturn in the economy affects myself and as well as a lot of other business owners. And I also sit in the city's Economic Development Commission, so I have a lot of experience on how to run a business, the challenges that the business owners have, as well as how to attract more businesses to Wisconsin. So one of my other goals is to make sure that we attract more jobs here to Wisconsin, as well as retain the ones we have. And I think we as a state can do a much better job doing that. There's a lot of incentives we can give, as well as a lot of, we have, a great universities here, great workforce. If we could fund our schools, and I want to make sure we have affordable health care for everybody here in Wisconsin. So passing that comprehensive health care is something that I'll work very hard to get. One of the initiatives was the Healthy Wisconsin, which is a great start. And I think it's not perfect by any means. And I think there's pros and cons. There's a lot of folks who argue for it and against it. But I think it's a great starting point, and I think we just need to focus on that. Healthcare is something that isn't about economics, but it's about basic human rights, about making sure that we're all healthy, have the right to, or the ability to go seek a doctor when we're ill, make sure that we're healthy. So I think those are something that every person should have a right to here in the state of Wisconsin. So those are the 3 important issues that I thought were important and I want to fight for. I think that affects the Asian American community directly. And I welcome an opportunity to meet with everybody here and talk to them some more about some of the issues that affect them personally also. But I think just a great opportunity that oftentimes, like I said, the Asian American community often is left out of politics because they just assume we don't play politics. But I think Ashok is someone that is well known in the political arena, so he kind of breaks that mold, and I think we need to do more in that aspect of, well, and Paul too, but everybody else in this room. I think, well, actually, I'd say everybody in this room plays a very important, a large role, but oftentimes the Asian American community in general gets this stereotype that we don't, get involved in politics. Even when I talk to my